So, everybody asks what got me into the whole monster hunting stuff. Well, I had my very first sighting or encounter, and it was when I was 21. I was deer hunting. I knew this spot really well, but I'd heard stuff before and smelt stuff, but never imagined a Bigfoot or anything like that. That's the farthest thing from your mind, because we're trained, our brains, that stuff's not real. It's, if it is real, it's out in the Himalayas or someplace like that. Well, that afternoon, I had got out. It was weekend right before Thanksgiving. I was 21, and I got out to my deer hunting spot. I had cleared out all the leaves from this tree. I'd hunted this area pretty well, knew it like the back of my hand. I grew up in that area. And I was out there, sit there all afternoon. And these woods are really thick and dense, to give you an idea of, the area. So I had the leaves cleared out, like I said, so I couldn't make no noise. But I didn't hear nothing that day. That afternoon, like I said, I got out there about 2:30, started getting dusk. And that time of year, I'd say it's probably 5 something, almost 6 o'clock, right around that area, where sun starts setting. And, well, I started getting my stuff up, and then all of a sudden, I smelled this smell come through the air. Woods totally quiet. I was like, well, I've smelled that smell before, so whatever it is, whatever animal it is, it's around there. Well, as it started getting closer, I heard a couple sticks break. So my first thought was a deer. I thought, all right, maybe I'll still have a chance at get a deer. Well, then it got really aggressive. Trees started shaking. I still couldn't see nothing because it's really dense in there. So I'm looking. I'm hoping it's a buck chasing this doe. Then it got more and more violent. Closer it got, the more and more violent it got. So I thought it could have been 2 bucks fighting over a doe. So I'm getting super excited, thinking, hey, got my choice of which one I want. Well, as it got closer, smell was strong, and it let out this scream. And the scream, it's a high-pitched scream with a deep growl in it. Our vocal cords, our lung capacity, it's too big. We couldn't do it. We couldn't mimic it. And I had no clue what it was. So I sit there patiently, and I had my gun up, and I'm looking. And I lower my gun down because I'm trying to see what's in there. And as it approached closer, I got to look, and I'm like, okay, I'm still waiting to see what this thing is. I've heard it before, but never knew what it was. Well, there's about a 15-foot clearance in between these cedar trees. And that's when this thing had come through that area in that little clearing. And it's probably less than 30 yards. I'm horrible with distance, but it was really close. But the sun had set, so all I could see the outline, and I couldn't see the face, but I could see long hair on its side of its head, around its head. It wasn't a cone-shaped head. It was probably between 6-7 foot tall. It had long hair. I could see the hair on its shoulder and its arm. And as it moved in between that 15-foot gap, it kind of like remind you of a plastic bag or something blowing across parking lot at Walmart or something. It was super quiet. It didn't make any noise. And I was looking at it as it come through there, and it reminded me more of an orangutan. It wasn't no patty or anything like that type. So as I'm looking at it, trying to figure out what it is, I was confused, I was scared, and as it got closer, as it cleared back into, after it cleared that little 15-foot little gap in between the cedar trees, it let out this scream with this roar again, and that growl in it. And I mean, it cuts right through you. I was like, what in the world is this thing? And then I seen an arm and shoulder movement, and it was a huge stick. I'd say it's probably about 3 foot long, probably about the size of like a baseball bat, on the end of a baseball bat, come whizzing past my head. I mean, it had some force. It was boom. So, and it let out that scream again, and it was still coming closer. I couldn't see it. I could see the shoulder movement then. And so it let out that scream. So my first thought is, I was confused, I was scared. What is this thing? So I took off running down the trail, and I have to cross this creek. So I slow down, and then my first thing is, okay, I'm slowing down. this thing's wanting to hurt me. Better be ready to fight. So I turn around to see if it's chasing me. I got to slow down to get down across this creek, down this little embankment. I stop, turn around, look. And as soon as I turned around and looked, I didn't see it, but it let out that horrible scream again. And it cut right through me. And I was like, okay, it can see me. It knows it doesn't want me here. And so I took off, got out of there, and got my truck, and I took off. And what you have to deal with after something like that, I was looking at something that's not supposed to exist. Your mind is going through all kinds of different stuff. I'm confused, you know, I was scared at the time. Put a chip on my shoulder, really. So I have done lots and lots of research since then. And that encounter happened when it was 1996. And I've been researching ever since. Had all other kinds of encounters. But that right there is what got me into this. I don't care if anybody believes me or not. I'm not looking to prove it to the world, because you'll never prove it to the world unless government allows you to. And I've been on numerous expeditions and all kinds of stuff looking for this thing. I've been doing it since 1996. So that kind of gives you an idea, you know, hey, almost 25 years, give or take, of doing this stuff. So I'm going to post more videos on YouTube here and give you some more of my encounters through the years. And, you know, you got to keep an open mind. If anybody says this stuff ain't real, the joke's on them, because I've seen it with my own eyes. You'll never, I don't care if anybody believes me or not. I'm doing this stuff for me. I need to know the answers. What is this, you know? Why did it choose me? And it has opened up so much in my mind. Is you're looking on channel 1, as a good friend of mine told me, Angela is here. She said, you're looking on channel 1. But then once you have something like that stressful, it awakens another channel. So you start seeing more of what's really going on. And it's quite an awakening. So, like I said, I'm not trying to prove it to anybody, but I'm going to post some more videos up here. I enjoy doing this, talking to people, because it lifts the burden off their shoulders. Because people, you know, you get ridiculed, you get mocked, you know, the government, everybody, government knows it's out there. Don't let them fool you. But that right there is what got me started. And I've been searching ever since, and I've come across some wild stuff. And some future YouTube videos I'll be posting about more occurrences, interviews, stuff like that. So, but that's what got me started. And, you know, I won't stop till I get my answers. And then I probably still won't stop, because further down this hole you go, more questions you got. Thank you, guys.